those weeks of confusion and changes and will they get funded, won't they get funded, caused such a ripple effect of stress and strain on people. We're talking about over 800,000 people here
Right.
in New Jersey. Mhm.
And Heather, you touched on something that I think is important. Can you, if you could briefly kind of explain what SNAP is and who uses it? Because I think there's a lot of confusion around that as well.
I agree 100%. There's a lot of confusion around that. SNAP, it stands for the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. So it's a program that's sort of casually known as food stamps. And essentially it's a support program available to folks who qualify based on a variety of circumstances. And I won't get into, all of the crazy ins and outs of how to qualify, but it's not something that you can just, call up the government and say, hey, I want some extra money for groceries.
Right.
You have to go through an application process. You have to regularly recertify and requalify. It's a pretty complex process. So there are SNAP navigators, who work for a number of social service agencies who are out there in the world to help people with this. But it is really about providing a safety net to folks who are working, but whose income does not really meet the basic costs of living. It's for folks, like I mentioned, senior citizens who are living on fixed incomes, and this is that extra amount of money they need to be able to sustain themselves through the month. And so many families with kids, and obviously, kids need to eat. Everybody needs to
To
eat. It's a
eat.
basic human right. But the idea that, there are kids who are trying to get through a school day without having had breakfast or, not knowing if they're going to have dinner that night. I mean, that's just not something we can accept as a society. So SNAP is a really critical safety net program that provides that reliable support that gives folks those dollars they need that they can take to the grocery store, to their local market, to buy food, to buy basic household necessities. It is not something that you can use to buy, whatever you want. There are restrictions on
There's
what can be
limits on
purchased
it.
using SNAP dollars. It is meant to feed and nourish people.